Hello everyone, it's Miss Brains and I'm back on your screens today. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and as you all know, here we teach, we learn, and we have fun. So basically I'm here today to discuss a possible way forward I saw due to the effects of the lockdown. Alright, so let's start from your weight. Are you gaining weight or losing weight? Me, let's just say I'm struggling to keep the belly fat appropriate. Sorry, I sound selfish, but I'm not really sure I look forward to school resumption. But if I do, it's because of the exercises, the movement every day that keep all of us in check, especially our weight. Anyway, let's not dwell on weight today. That's not the focus of this. The focus of today's discussion is homeschooling. So I discovered that a lot of parents are thinking of bringing in home tutors, because whether school will resume or not, the fact remains that the students staying away from their usual classroom setting for a long time has made them lose touch, and many of them did the online school, but trust me, they just played with it, technically speaking. So parents want concentration, they want to see more results, and so on and so forth, and so they are trying to bring in home tutors. Now home tutors are making demands, that's what they call home teachers. They're charging parents. As a parent thinks a teacher is too cheap, some things a teacher is too costly, and all that. I, as a parent and a teacher, there are some things I look out for, okay? So now I'm going to talk as a parent first. When I'm bringing a home lesson teacher to my home, here's what I check out. First, I look for someone that the child has bonded with before. It has to be from the child's school, or the teacher teaches or is familiar with the curriculum that school runs. We are aware that in Nigeria today, the private sector of education permits different schools to run whatever curriculum works for them, as long as it's approved. So we have British, we have Montessori, we have Nigerian, we have American, we have Turkish, we have Chinese, a lot of it. So if as a parent you want to bring in a home lesson teacher, the first thing you should consider is where the teacher works. Do they run the same kind of curriculum with your child, with the curriculum they run in your child's school? Or if not, is he or she familiar with that curriculum? Another one is that, does he or she understand how to accommodate the age range of this child? Because regardless of the fact that you are going to give out money and you expect, because I've paid, she should get the job done, or he should get the job done. If you bring a guy to come and do early years, we don't have too many men in early years, we have but very few. You will discover that it's not exactly working, because the child's psychology is different from a preteen psychology or a teenager psychology. So these are the things you need to put in consideration. And what is the track record of the teacher? Very important. Homeschooling is like an auxiliary schooling. You don't want to put money on a teacher who doesn't have a proven record. So how do you check all this? Which brings me to the teacher aspect. Now, as a teacher, if you're going for homeschooling, or if you're going into a home as a tutor, the first thing you should do before you even start to negotiate price is, do you know this child at all? And how do you know this child? Just go for an assessment. Your first meeting should be an assessment. Never agree to it over the phone. Even if you're going to be an online teacher, your first meeting with the parent should be an assessment. Assess the child's behavior, assess the child's ability to assimilate one or two concepts. You need to look at how the child relates with his or her immediate environment. Can you handle it? Because the parent wants to pay you 500k per month, just go and collect one ADHD child that you can handle, or one autistic child that you can handle. So you have to figure out, there has to be an assessment period. And how do you go there? Don't just go there with empty hands. I'm coming for assessment. Go there with a note, better still, a standard assessment tool from a verified educational resource center or website for the age of that child. So when you get there, you administer it so that you know where the child is and where you are going to start from or continue from. Number 2 is, what curriculum do they run? Are you familiar with it? For example, when I have students who come from Turkish, I usually don't take them because I'm not exactly familiar with that curriculum. I know Nigerian, I know British, I know American, a little bit familiar with Chinese, then Indian, and Dubai. But Turkish is still, even though 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 across the world, but the methodology, the expectations, the goals, and the level at which they push their sciences or math is different across countries and continents. So you have to figure that out. Number 3 is, please, what materials are you going to use? Let me tell you what gives you credibility in front of parents. When they see you armed to the teeth. Let me give an illustration. Imagine I have my own house and I want to employ a private security firm. And after I've made the transactions and everything, they just send me one random guy on one Okada to drop in front of my house, or what we call motorcycle. And I'm like, really? You know, I respect a private security firm when they come in the, those vans, and, they come, even if it's ordinary baiting, the man is holding, but he looks good, he's kitted, I know he knows the job, he means it. Or if you're a politician and they give you a police orderly and it's not even armed, it's just there. So when you are going into a parent's house to teach, please be armed. You should have like a little scheme or goal for that day or week or month. You should have worksheets. Don't just go there and start writing inside their notebooks, date, time that you came. Please. Google is your best friend. I can't say this enough. Look for worksheets that is in line with that topic. Look for videos if you have time to play it. Actually, I don't have time to play videos in my class, but I send it to my parents. When you are coming with these things, and if you want to, we'll come to charging later, but let's just talk about this. So come with worksheets, come with materials that fit you, that makes you that point. Don't just be any kind of home lesson teacher, because these parents don't stop searching for the best for their children. They don't stop. And the day they meet that one teacher who knows exactly what he or she is doing, even if he wants to collect $1 million in a month, if they can afford it, they will pay. Why? Because they're seeing results. Yes. So don't just rush into anything. Let me go through it quick. Number 1, assess the child. Number 2, assess the curriculum. Number 3, go with standardized materials. Very, very important. Okay, let's move on to number 4, and that's your timing. Please don't come too cheap. Trust me, I know by the time you're watching this video, most of you will be familiar with homeschooling, but those who are not familiar with it, it's not even an easy thing, especially if you have to do lots in commuting, preparation, it's a lot. It's just like running an actual school. So you need to figure out your timing, what works for you. Don't choose a time that you will not be available. Or when the parents choose their own time, don't just say yes because you need the lesson or because you need the class, we need the money, yes. Don't just say yes. Figure out your itinerary. Choose what works for you so that you never compromise on your timing. And the one day you were ill or something, or you have a genuine excuse, they would know. Your integrity will stand for you. Don't get annoyed if they choose your church days or your mosque days and then you are angry. Please, when you're working on your time, choose what works best for you, or you can compromise. Is that okay? But ensure that you choose a time that when you are ready for that class, you are always available, 0 excuses. And we have charging. How you charge is totally up to you. I'm not going to say that here, but there are standardized prices. Please ask around. Sometimes with your best intentions, if you appear too cheap, they're like, does she know what she's doing? And then if they employ you because of recommendation and they discover that you're good, they recommend you cheaply to everybody else, and you're doing so much work with little this in your account, and don't come off as too expensive also because of results. Okay, after 1 month or 2 months you can balance out what you earn. But like I said, when you assess the child and you figure out your time, it could help you with the charges. Okay, now the last and final one is report. A lot of home teachers don't do reports, and it's funny because It is called homeschooling. Somebody has paid for it, and there's something they call return of let me say, is it value for money? I don't want to say return on investment now, but value for money. So every month or every day or every week, whatever works for you, let there be a report, whether it is oral, whether it is written, to the parent. Thank God we have WhatsApp and everything these days. Text it. Adequate brains can now do this, can now do that, can now. It makes the parents trust your judgment. Okay? And one final word, please don't go to that place or that house and start castigating other teachers, especially if you don't teach in that school, or if you're not the former home lesson teacher. Teachers make this mistake a lot. Oh, I know that school. Oh, they don't do this. Oh, I really, just give me the lesson. You will see the results. Don't be that fast. You know why? You're dealing with a human being here, even though this is your student, and we can spring surprises at any time on you. And another fact that you don't know the kind of efforts that the teacher is putting in as the child's teacher in the class, or teachers now across subjects, but it's not producing the result that the parents want. You don't know yet if it's the parents that is petty or finicky. You don't know if it's the child that is lazy. You don't know if, even with your best effort, you may see the external influences like psychologists or therapists, or to help with your results. So don't be quick to judge the former teacher or to castigate the school the child attends or something. Do your job, be professional. We'll talk about being professional next time, because I've read so much of stories about teachers who are not professional, who are not professionals. Yes, when they go to people's homes, I mean, it's ridiculous. But trust me, you are going to be fine. So there will be a lot of demand now for home teachers. You can take snippets from this video, apply it, and it's still the year of the teachers. We're winning every day of the remaining part of this year. Thank you. I love you, and bye.